his, I was intent upon reviving the glorious game, and I had almost everything I needed. All that was missing was a family of my own. Since I had gotten my first package from my childhood best friend's mother, he seemed the natural choice to become my first cohort in my criminal endeavor. Candy, my homie Edgar's mother, ran numbers in the late 70s to early 80s out of a number hole on 70 East 170th Street near Taft High School in the South Bronx. Edgar was the oldest of Candy's 4 children. My man Edgar was in trouble from day one. His pops was a recovering heroin addict and an accomplished alcoholic. Candy also used heroin, but she traded that addiction in for a new trend that was less demanding and quickly growing in popularity: cocaine. In spite of all of this destruction, Candy and her husband managed to create a gifted child together. When I was a kid, I liked to get high, but I had limits, and I learned to respect them. Edgar, though, whoa. I mean, the boy would try any drug put in front of him. Still, he was a genius, particularly when it came to digits. Sometimes I would call out a bunch of numbers, and he'd add, subtract, or multiply any combination of them in his head and spit back the answer. In 1980, Edgar's mom started getting high-grade cocaine from an old Colombian cat that wanted to marry her. I don't think she paid for the work, which may be why Edgar didn't feel it was necessary for us to pay her. Still, my training wouldn't allow me to cross Candy. The Colombian was supplying Candy nicely. Cocaine's popularity was still growing, and the powers that be were making sure that there was plenty of material available. There were no coke panics back then, and we never ran out of work. Candy was wholesaling us an ounce, 28 grams at a time, for $1,400 each. That may seem to a steep price in this day and age, especially in New York, but we were retailing grams at $100 each. Best of all, the product was so potent that we could put a 2 on 20 grams out of each ounce without noticeably affecting its strength. For a 2 on 20, that's 2 times 20, we would mix 40 grams of lactose with 20 grams of 96% pure cocaine. Then we'd run it all through a strainer about 8 times until we had 60 grams of crystallized sparkling white powder. It looked like freshly fallen snow when it was gleaming under disco lights. We'd take the remaining 8 grams, crush them down to the size of rock salt, and sprinkle the rocks over the powder as evenly as possible. The customers wouldn't even know the difference because it was nitro, short for nitroglycerin, and that was the mark of excellence. Now, just imagine that, with sound behind it and all that, whatever. You know, I was reading the whole time that you were spinning. That I was trying to give you some time to do whatever you were doing. That shit was spinning the whole time. I was reading the whole time.